Hey everybody, Steven here, and today looking at a new product from Autonomous. This is the ThermalComfort. So this is essentially a lumbar support pad, but it has more than just the little pad for it. It actually has 3 fans in it. It has a heating pad, so it'll cool your back, it'll do that. It has memory foam in it, and then it'll vibrate. So right now I've just been using literally a memory foam pillow with this, and this is actually their Ergo 2 chair. Really like the chair, but the lumbar support for me just isn't quite what I'd like it to be. So I've always used this pillow. It just feels better. So I saw this. It is more expensive. It's $270, $269. And so I was like, I want to try that out. And I actually got it on a discount, and then I had some like points or credits available. So I ended up getting this for a lot cheaper than that. This is a very steep price point, so I'm hoping it impresses me with this. But let's get this thing unboxed really quick. Let's look at it in there. So we have cables, because obviously with this, if it's doing that stuff, you're either plugging it in, or with this, luckily, there's actually a rechargeable battery, I believe, with this. So we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, 100-watt battery with this. So this weighs 2.2 pounds. That's net weight. I think the actual item weighs 1.7, just the pad. So let's go ahead and get this thing out. Oh man, you can feel it. It has some weight to it. So I'm thinking it goes this way, cups your back. So we have our fans right in here. A little bit harder to see with that, but we have our 3 fans. Kind of look like PC fans. And then we have our memory foam. It almost feels like memory foam and gel. I think it's just memory foam though. With this charging port right there. On the other side, turn it on, and then we can change these things. So let's turn this thing on. I hope it's charged up. Doesn't look like it is. But this took a long time to get to me, so it was kind of like maybe not. This, I bought it in December. It is now February, so I got this February 15th. So about 2 months just to get this thing to me. So looks like now I need to actually charge this thing up. I need to actually get it on the seat here as well. It's smaller than the pillow that I'm using, so I'm hoping that it does feel like it's good support. But in the summer, it gets really hot in this room. We're actually getting a new AC unit this weekend, and so I do hope that helps. I'm worried it's actually one of the vents, so I may need to replace that. But anyways, it gets hot in here, so much so that I actually had a portable AC unit that I was using in the summer to keep this room cool, because it'd get into the 80s. And so with this, if it still stays a little bit warmer in here, if I can turn the fans on and keep my body a little bit cool, that is an upside. The massage is awesome, or the vibration. And then the heat too, because I usually have a heating pad on the couch. So doing workouts and things like that, if my back feels like it's a little bit restricted, right? It's kind of bunched up tight is what somebody might say. I can use that, it'll help with that. So just looking at this really quick though. So you have 2 different functions on this, heat and then the cool. So when you're actually changing the temperature on this, I believe, yeah, the top light here, it'll show red or it'll show blue, letting you know that you're either having the cool on with the fans or the heating pad on with this as well. And then the massage at the bottom, it has 3 levels of a green light. So green light, darker green, and then the darkest green, and then off. So that'll be the button down here for the massage. And then it should illuminate when we're charging it, I believe. So looking at this, before we get into that, battery life with this at full charge, plugged in, to fully charge, 2.5 to 3 hours is what I need to actually charge this for. Unless you're actually just going to leave that plugged in and run it off that. Using heat function only, this will last up to 6 hours. Cooling function only, 8 hours. Massage function only, 8 hours. Using cooling or heating function plus massage function together, up to 4 hours. That's not bad. I mean, they were kind of trying to cover, at least in terms of the cooling and the massage, like an 8-hour workday, and then you plug it in at night and then you can leave and you can come back and still use it. That is pretty awesome. So the battery in this is probably what's making up a lot of the weight with this as well. I don't think the fans probably weigh much. but that makes more sense now with this. So we have the nylon strap, memory foam, and then a cotton cover. So I'm gonna get this thing plugged in, get it charged up. I'll cut back and then I'll use it for a little bit, and then I'll just talk about my experience with that, get some good B-roll so you guys can see this product a little bit better than me just holding it up, and then give my kind of final thoughts on this. So I'll probably use this actually for a couple of days so I get a good feel for it. So let's go ahead and cut over now to that after I spent some time with this. Man, oh man, so a lot to cover with this product. I was more hopeful and I feel pretty let down by this thing. So there's a lot to cover with this. I didn't need to spend a bunch of different days with this to get a good read on it because there's already issues that I'm finding with it. So let it charge yesterday evening, and then I used it for a while last night, a little bit today. And let's start with the good with this. I do like the battery life and how long this will last, because that does cover you for the most part for a work day, right? Depending on what you're using and potentially the combinations that you're using with this. The heat with this thing gets crazy hot. So that is probably one of the biggest upsides with this, is the heat works amazing. Almost too hot. Felt like it was probably burning up my back a little bit. That's the biggest upside to this. Let's cover a bunch of different things. Starting with power brick here. You have plenty of length. I guess that's an upside. Downside, this thing, it's not heavy, but this thing is, this is a block. I'm assuming this is maybe potentially to protect if there's a discharge for it or something. I have no idea why this is this big. Maybe absorb some of the heat because it doesn't want heat coming to this, because this has a built-in battery with it. Whatever it is, you got a power brick with this thing. Yeah, there's plenty of length, but this kind of defeats the purpose because then you're dragging around a power brick. Depending on how far you're seated from your desk, because this does provide a good amount of length with it. But yeah, I think this should have been different. So attaching it to the chair, that wasn't an issue. This literally, it's got a Velcro strap. I don't think this is a deal breaker. I would have liked a clip instead of Velcro here. This is the best adjustment that I can get with this, because it's quite long. And this is the Ergo 2, like I mentioned, and I'm having a difficult time getting this snug here. It doesn't stay, it drops, right? So if I lift this thing up to adjust it, it's just gonna fall down. Now the good news with that is I don't want it all the way down here. I want it slightly up, but I can adjust this without it being completely stuck in one position. So a trade-off there, but why they went with Velcro, and this isn't even stretchy. I was like, maybe it's because it's stretchy. I was like, yeah, there's no give to this actual strap. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's a poor design choice, in my opinion, with that. I would have liked to have seen a clip and at least have this stretchy, and at least maybe the adjustments on either side. I can only adjust it on this right hand side. If you go to the left side here, there's no clip to actually adjust and make it shorter. After that, right, we'll turn this thing on. One click. Let's start with the fans, right? Let's start with the cooling aspect of this. We'll go 1, 2, 3 is gonna be highest. I guess I wasn't thinking about the noise with this, and this isn't bad here with the fans. The vibration that we'll do here in a minute, that gets quite loud. And I was like, if you're sitting in an office and this thing's making a bunch of noise, everybody's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? Here's another flaw in the design. If I lean back, because I'm up right now, I'm not even leaning against this. It does feel good on my back, but if I can get this a little bit higher. So, turn it off. Where this would normally be. Did it work now? There we go. So it's in the position it needs to be. You hear that? I'm leaning my weight back like I normally would. I mean, I have to sit upright like this. I can't actually lean into my chair because it pushes those fans down, right? Now it's a little bit higher, right? Second I start leaning my weight into it. So why is it doing that? And I'll actually Velcro this off for a second. So if you look at how this is constructed, on the back here, this is a solid piece of plastic, and then they have the memory foam in front, right? And it comes all the way up here. This right here though, open space. And the fans are right here. So as you lean your weight back, that's why you're seeing that indentation right there, is because as you lean your weight back, it crushes this. Well, guess what? That pushes on the fans, and then you hear that sound. You're either gonna break the fans or you're gonna burn out the motors in them, right? Regardless, you can't actually lean your weight all the way back. The only way I think this could potentially work is if you turned it upside down like this, which doesn't necessarily seem like the right orientation because of how the wording goes. That would make this upside down. So yeah, maybe potentially, we'll try it actually. It may work a little bit better, but then you still have, if you lean back, maybe it still does that. So I think that's the design flaw. I think what they should have done, taken this plastic, moved it up a little bit, and then had the memory foam come on top of that. So even if you push down, that plastic part right here would still protect the fans. Let's do one other thing though with this. Let's turn the fan off. Massage. We have 3 levels. 2, that was 1, that's 2, 3. If you're sitting here with this on your back, and it feels decent enough, it's not amazing, right? But it's like, all right, it's kind of massaging the back a little bit, feel a little bit of vibration. And you're trying to work around other people, again, they may be like, hey man, what the hell are you doing? Like, stop, that's too noisy, I can't concentrate, whatever it may be. Of course, there's noise going around when you're working in an office, but this may be distracting for other people. This may be distracting for you as you're trying to do work. I could see this just causing issues with a lot of different offices. Now, if you're in your own office, it doesn't matter. But if I was on a phone call and I'm doing business and this thing's going, like they're gonna be like, what's that noise in the background, right? Combine that with the fans, right? If you can turn on the fans with that, like that's double the noise. All right, so heat with this is going to be the top one. Like I said, it actually works really, really good. That's probably the biggest upside. If I was to look at this, the heating pad, 10, 20 bucks. I mean, the pillows that I use is right over here. That thing was like $10, memory foam pillow off of Amazon. Like what, 20, 25, maybe $30 for the bigger features that I would use with this. The fan was the big draw, but me leaning up against it and it doing that, it kind of defeats the purpose. Let's try this upside down. Maybe we get a win with this. I don't know. Let's see. But if that is the case and I have to flip this thing upside down every time I want to use the cool aspect, that's going to be a bummer. There we go. So you won't get that. Well, actually, I just stopped the fans. Sorry. You will still get that. It's so... You can hear that. Yeah. Right away. That is a bummer. I think this is a big swing and a miss. $269 for this thing. Great concept. Very poor execution. I'd rather spend $30, get a heating pad, get the pillow, and I'll be good with that. I don't really care about the aesthetics. I care about the performance. This pad is also smaller. It's covering a very small portion of my back. So if you're a larger person, I'm not big, 6 foot, 200 pounds, it's not covering my whole back. I like the pillow, it covers my whole back. That may be something else to consider. So we have a lot of glaring issues with this. I don't think it's worth the price. This is like a $40 item, in my opinion, because of that, because of the performance and all that. That's like, all right, 40 bucks, I'll take a chance. Maybe it fits me, maybe these things work. $269, I expect a lot more, or at least the option for a lot more with this too, right? A larger size, right? The fan thing, that's just, like I said, that's just a design flaw that needs to be fixed. I'm sure, because you can actually unzip this, I'm sure you could maybe fashion something yourself, and I got a couple engineers I trained that I may do that, but you can unzip this thing. Peel it open. I don't know, maybe you want to put something in here. But if we're looking at this on the inside, that's it, right? The memory foam is right here, and it's like poorly shaven. Couple controls, and then we have the fans. You could probably modify this to fit better, maybe, but why would you spend that much money to do more work on it? So, I mean, I'll put a link if you want to check it out. I don't recommend this thing. That is very rare on this channel that there's not a product that I could see the upside with and kind of explain two different points of view. I think this is far too expensive for what it is. And just, if you're really looking for the heat and a memory foam, like spend 25, 30 bucks, do the pillow, do a heating pad. Same thing, right? It's not going to be as portable as this thing is. You won't get the vibration. They even make other things that are cheaper where like maybe it has massage deals in here. I don't personally like those things. They're too rough on my back. But you could almost combine a bunch of different things and get this same product. But you could strip away parts when you don't need them, right? Like I don't need heat in the summer, for instance. If it is hotter, if I'm just needing that to maybe relax my back, usually you can find a massager that has the built-in thing where it's actually vibrating and doing the rollers on your back. So a lot of different options out there that are going to be a far superior product. Great in concept, very poor execution here. Like I said, I'll put a link for this. If you guys have more questions on this too, let me know. Maybe there's something I didn't cover with this. I'm going to see if my wife wants to try this. Maybe she can use it at work. Maybe it's a little bit better, but that fan thing is just, it's getting to me because if she leans back, she's going to hit the fans and blow it out. So I may have to come up with some way to put something in here that blocks that. So anyways, that's actually going to be it for this one. I was so hopeful for this thing, and I feel like bummed out now that I'm having to say that it's just not worth the money for anybody, and there's very little upside here. So like I said, if you have questions on this, let me know. I'll answer those for you. I will put a link for this that you can actually check it out for yourself, and then I'll put a code. It should apply to this. It's like $5-10 bucks off. So if you don't want to get this, you can get other products, because a lot of their other products are really good. What's interesting though is on their website they've paired with a bunch of other companies, so it's not just like chairs and desks anymore. You're getting like recharging stations, and of course they have like, I have one of their lamps over here and stuff like that, but they have all these other tech products now, but again they've like paired with other companies, so it's not necessarily their product. This one seemed like it was advertised, this is actually their product, which is why I'm even more so surprised versus a different company. Well, that's going to be it for this one, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.